This is the most adaptable science-based fitness app. It designs your ideal workout based on your experience, schedule, health, and equipment. Whether you're a pro or just getting started, it adapts to you over time, so you can train effectively and always make progress. No two workouts are quite the same. Powered by advanced algorithms, constantly updated in collaboration with world-class experts. MyoAdapt is your personal fitness expert, but at a fraction of the cost.
I recently got lean, like 10% body fat lean, and I did it without counting a single calorie. And the results are in. My final measured body fat percentage was 10.5%. Now, I'm not gonna put too much stock into exactly my percentage or exactly how much muscle I lost or gained. For me, this cut was about being progressive, slowly losing fat, and maintaining muscle without counting calories. And it seems like that's exactly what we achieved. Let me show you how I did it, start to finish, without calorie tracking, without rigid meal plans, and without letting it take over my life. And yes, I still ate out. I still went for drinks, and I didn't lose muscle either. If you're not going to track calories, tracking body weight consistently is huge. I weighed myself every morning after waking and going to the bathroom. Then I averaged it across the week. This gave me a feedback loop. If after a couple of weeks my weight was dropping too fast or too slow, I would adjust my food intake intuitively. Averages matter because weight can fluctuate day to day based on things like salt, carbs, stress, sleep, fiber, and even digestion. Waiting a couple of weeks before making changes also helped me avoid overcorrecting. I aimed for about 0.5% of body weight loss per week, which helped keep muscle loss to a minimum. Some mornings I wasn't hungry, so I didn't eat. Rather than forcing myself to eat breakfast at a set time, I delayed meals until I actually felt ready for food. This allowed me to shift more of my food intake to later in the day, when I tend to get hungrier and enjoy eating more. If I still wasn't hungry mid-morning, I would keep sipping on coffee and wait another hour. Speaking of coffee, I didn't cut caffeine, but I was mindful of when I had it. I had 2 big cups a day and kept them to the first half of the day, typically finishing up by early afternoon. That way, it didn't interfere with my sleep quality later on. The goal wasn't to rely on caffeine for energy, but to use it to support focus and productivity during my most demanding hours. It also helped me reduce hunger a bit. Speaking of sleep, huge thanks to today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. If you're serious about your sleep, and you should be because good sleep can help you lose fat and keep muscle during a cut, then getting high quality sleep is non-negotiable. This Manta Sleep Mask is the most comfortable and effective sleep mask I've ever used. It blocks out 100% of the light, it's adjustable so you don't feel it against your eyelids, and honestly, it just makes it way easier to get deep, uninterrupted sleep. It also feels like the most durable sleep mask I've used by a long shot. If you want to upgrade your recovery, check out Manta Sleep Masks through the link in the description. Use code WOLF for a discount and to support me. Back to the video. I kept my meals stupidly simple. Most meals took under 10 minutes to make, and I repeated the same go-to foods. Not because I had to, but because removing decision fatigue made dieting feel easier. It made grocery shopping faster, it meant less thinking during the day, and it even helped smooth out water weight fluctuations, since my food intake was relatively consistent. For example, my breakfast was literally a kilogram of fat-free Greek yogurt with one of 2 flavorings, sweetener and cinnamon or sweetener lemon juice. Alongside that, I'd have a piece of fruit, banana or an apple. This kept me full for hours and took about 2 minutes to prepare. I also focused on the following rule: more whole foods, fewer ultra-processed ones. Why? More volume per calorie, they digest slower, and they typically have more fiber and water. All things that help us satiety, not to mention health. I didn't avoid processed food altogether, but focusing on whole foods meant I was rarely that hungry in the first place. I aimed for at least 5 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. I tried to include some form of fruit or vegetables in every single meal. I didn't measure these servings precisely, but visually, I knew I was getting close. I made sure every meal was built around protein. I didn't track grams, but I aimed to make the protein the centerpiece of each plate. If I wasn't sure what to eat, I'd think, what protein do I want? And then build the meal around that. It made a huge difference for both satiety and muscle retention. That doesn't mean every meal needed to be perfect though. For lunch, I would usually opt for a high protein meal deal. The viewers from the UK will recognize these. For just a few great British pounds, I'd usually get low-calorie chicken tikka wraps, a 25-gram protein shake, and a protein bar. The wraps actually have a surprising amount of fiber, and I got over 60 grams of protein from this meal. Plus, I could have this meal while walking, which helped me stay active. Speaking of staying active, I made walking a default part of my day. I aimed for 10,000 steps per day, and most of that came from regular, low-effort movement. Post-meal walks, taking the long route home, pacing during walk calls. All these little things added up without requiring a formal cardio session. It also made me feel better and helped keep my appetite in check. Rather than separating cardio from life, I habit bundled. If I had a meeting, I walked during the meeting. If I was catching up with a friend, we'd walk instead of sit. I looked for opportunities to move without needing extra time or motivation. That way, the 10,000 steps didn't feel like work. They were just built into my day. I made sure my home environment worked for me, not against me. If I didn't want to eat something, I didn't buy it. That doesn't work for everyone, but if you can do it, it can help. Keeping the right foods in the house and the wrong ones out made better decisions automatic. This mattered more than willpower ever could. I didn't stop eating out, I just compensated when I did. If I had dinner plans, I'd keep breakfast and lunch lighter. Smaller portions, higher protein, and more fruits and vegetables. I didn't restrict aggressively, I just made room. The mindset was simple. Don't make up for a meal, just rebalance your day. Sometimes I did this the day of eating out, and sometimes the day after. I also got used to finishing meals not completely full. Instead of trying to feel 100% satiated, I got comfortable stopping at maybe 80%. That little gap helped keep my intake in check without needing willpower. It taught me that mild hunger is not an emergency, it's part of the process when dieting. My training stayed consistent, 5 sessions per week, full body. Since my legs have been a strong muscle group for me for a long time, I used MyoAdapt to specialize on chest, back, and arms. Here's something really cool. My training with MyoAdapt accomplished exactly what I wanted it to. One cool little finding, although again, I don't put too much stock into this just because of measurement error, is that my legs actually lost a little bit of muscle, while my upper body gained a little bit of muscle. MyoAdapt is a training app we've been working on for years. Just like a good coach, you can specify what muscle groups you would like to focus on and bring up the most. If you're interested in trying MyoAdapt, head to myoadapt.com now and check it out. You'll receive a free trial to try the app. Back to the video. One thing I avoided was white-knuckling my way through hunger. If I was genuinely hungry between meals, I had a snack. But I kept protein, fruits, and vegetables top of my mind. That way, I stayed full for longer and didn't spiral into mindless eating. Usually, I just have the same meal as for breakfast, around 3 to 4. One thing I avoided wherever possible was drinking calories. I rarely had juice or milk-based drinks. They just didn't fill me up. I stuck to water, black coffee, and diet soda. That alone probably saved me hundreds of calories per week without thinking about it. The one exception was a smoothie. It's just a convenient, cheap way of getting a ton of micronutrients and some creatine in. I'd usually have a mango and pineapple smoothie, a salad with homemade soy balsamic dressing, a ready-made chicken chow mein from the store, and an apple. Most nights, I wound down with a consistent bedtime routine and aimed for around 9 hours of sleep. That wasn't always possible, but I made it a priority. Getting enough sleep helped me recover, train hard, manage cravings, and stay focused during the day. Without it, everything else got harder. Finally, I accepted that losing fat without calorie counting would be a little bit slower. That trade-off was worth it to me. Because I wasn't obsessing, I could stick to it longer. I just applied the right principles consistently. In the end, from January 1st to the end of my cut, around the 22nd of April, I went from around 230 pounds to around 220 pounds. I went from around 15 to 70% body fat down to 10% body fat. This video didn't have a ton of references in it. I wanted to keep it about my own approach and experience as a science-based lifter who's also got a busy schedule. If you like the scientific breakdown of how to lose fat and why the advice in this video works, feel free to check out my video on the smartest way to lose fat. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.